business to Teddy.
Terry.
Terry.
That's all right.
And then Socks is not planning on returning to the city, so Hazel and Corvus will be offered Burger Shack.
Yeah, we'd definitely be willing to take it. We've been talking to the mayor about the fees already because I was just as an employee, like, well, is my job gonna be lost now? Um, so if we can just pay that, and what would that look like? I guess in terms of us actually completely taking ownership.
I've actually raised issue with that to the mayor's office.
Okay.
Yes. It seems that there has been a report of you being involved with a attack on a city official yesterday.
Not this wasn't yesterday. This was a
Oh,
couple days ago. It's
yeah, a couple
also
days ago.
it's also the second time apparently he's been associated with that. And I've been informed actually that he's a member of the gang known as the Trash Bandits.
Well, two things. The trash. We're not a gang. We're
It
just
by the penal code definition, it is a gang.
um.
How you internally choose to classify it is irrelevant in the eyes of the law.
Is there proof that I was there? If allegedly I was even there, and I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure would have immediately disassociated myself with anything like that because I have no interest in um, being a criminal so I've started my expungement process. I have not been doing any crime at all. I actually used to do mortgages for a living, and that's really just like the life for me. I think is a nice, quiet. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get shot at. That shit's scary. Um,
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so the business committee is not currently aware of where the investigation on that is, and but if charges were brought against you related to that, then it would bar you from business ownership.
that makes
Hey,
sense.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more concerning thing is not that specific incident, it's the gang affiliation, which is a federal guideline that no one affiliated with a gang in any kind of way can be a business owner.
Yes. So if you were to take a Burger Shack, you would have to separate yourself from the Trash Pandas.
No, that would be the other way around. The gang affiliation needs to be separated first.
Yeah, well, yes. For A to happen, B needs to take place. Which the government cannot dictate who you are friends with, but group activities can exclude you from business ownership.
You need to speak up over there.
All right. But granted that he is not found guilty of any, charges, and he does not affiliate him with any gangs moving forward, what process is he looking at, Crane?
For taking over the ownership of Burger Shack,
Yes.
well, that would require approval from Bo and Sassy.
All right. Okay, so you know, pending those requirements and approval from the mayor's office, uh, it will go up to the Senate from there. And suppose same would be for rivals. Do you have a ballpark on the fees for that, or would that also be through Bo?
The approval goes to obviously Sassy and Bo. Taking over ownership, I believe was most likely just going to be $100,000 fee separate. Or actually, believe we actually got rid of that.
I assume it would just be catch up on any licensing fees that are currently outstanding, and could be wrong though as well.
Well, the ownership transfers were treated differently. Previously, in old legislation, it required to bring on a new owner. It was $100,000 per every $500,000 that the business was valued at, which I don't believe Rivals is valued at anywhere near $1 million. So it should be $100,000. But I'm double checking, so please continue without me.
Also, for any new potential business owners, please keep in mind that if you do have a criminal record, your fees and fines will be doubled.
Yeah, I'd actually already
Understood.
talked to Bo about that, and we'd be willing to pay it. It's so
Yeah.
when you say disassociate, you mean I can't be friends with these people that
You
hang
can't be in
out?
a gang.
I'm not in a gang. I don't do
Yeah.
anything
You can
except
be
hang
friends
out
with
and
whoever
eat
you
food
want,
with them. Really, like,
but like yeah, if they go out to cause mischief, like you can't take part in that, obviously.
yeah.
Don't, rep colors or anything like that.
No, and the one time I'll be fully transparent. The one time I did actually get arrested, I was told to drive a car. There were gunshots. I said, "Get out of the car." I drove some more, and then I don't remember what happened, but I ended up in custody. But look, man, I just came here because there was free housing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I lost my job. I didn't have anything going for me. Everything I had got repossessed when they took my house from me. Um, and I was just trying to make a better life for myself here. And I didn't know what to do. I had free housing in an apartment, sure, but then I don't know. I just wanted to do more than live in a stuffy apartment. And so I'd actually met Trash Panda at Trash Tella when we were younger. We just partied at a rave. So I don't know. I'm not in a gang. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about when you say all this. Like, we're just
Yeah.
friends.
Okay, so
Innocent.
then, so I have I'll give you a chance, okay?
Okay.
And we'll see how you answer. That's going to determine what I tell the DA to do.
Okay.
The evening that I was kidnapped on that bus by the trash bandits, were you or were you not there?
For less than 15 seconds, maybe 25.
And what part did you play in that incident?
I got in
No,
a bus that they were already driving. And then
Yeah,
got out.
I will be honest. He did indeed leave the scene. That's
Yep.
fine.
As soon as they put the gun, I put my hands up. I got out, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how serious it was.
Yes, which is very true. As soon as the gun came out, he did indeed leave. The issue with that is that I was still kidnapped the entire time before that. So the fact that you were there implies, with like it literally explicitly implies that you are a part of this group that is doing criminal activity, which would be the definition of a gang.
So I passed out in my van in that parking lot, and I had literally just woken up. I had no idea how serious or what was going on. I just said, "Hey, we're gonna pick you up," and then a van pulled up, and I saw everybody just hanging out. That's it. I got out. I'm not about that shit.
Okay. Here's what I'll do then. I have the DA working on something. I will have her offer you a deal to explicitly say that you are separating yourself from this gang. It will have terms associated with it. I can have her get that to you tomorrow.
Okay. Can we still pay our fees now so we don't get shut down for tomorrow?
I would say that is up to the business committee on who they allow to pay those fees. Oh, by the way, I have reviewed the actual specific wording in the legislation. It is not $100,000. A new owner coming into a business pays 2.5 times the registration fee as a ownership transfer fee.
Excellent. I
Would
will have
that
to-
be 2.5 on top of the initial registration?
So the
that still
initial,
wasn't paid.
so the
It was
yes, it
paid.
would. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it was okay.
Yes, it has been paid. The only thing that has not been paid for Rivals is the 10K for May.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So then
Okay, so that would
I
be
need
25,000 for Rivals for a new ownership transfer.
excellent. I can pay that today.
No,
Okay.
Oh, no?
2.5 times the registration fee. They have a business permit, no,
So that's
Uh,
$50,000.
and that'd be 2.5 times that.
Yes. And the
Okay.
10,000 on top.
So 125,000 plus the 10,000. So 135,000 is what I would owe.
Yes.
Okay. I cannot pay
Okay, yeah,
that
yeah.
today. But I can pay the 10K that is owed today.
Seeing as they don't have currently an active owner, I'd say allow that.
I'd be fine with that.
I like my job. I don't want to lose it.
I second that.
Yeah, and you have been doing a wonderful job with
Thank you.
Rivals.
Thank you.
In the interest of Lonnie being a good friend and not wanting to see his business go away, me as a private citizen, I will give you the money you need for the ownership transfer.
I appreciate that, and it will get paid back.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now then. Rex, would you like to go next?
I didn't catch any of that.
Rex for Rex's towing his proposal.
Mhm.
Would it be all right if we went first, seeing as our proposal was put in a while ago?
Rex's was actually first before.
Oh,
you.
my apologies then. My
Yeah,
apologies.
yeah, you're fine.
I can't hear him if he's
Yeah,
talking.
if you're
I can't
talking, we
if you
can't hear
say
you, Hyun.
anything.
Oh, is that better?
Yes,
it's much
much better.
Ah, sorry about that. No, I said if he's in a hurry, then he can go ahead.
No, no,
And
not at
at a
all.
time.
Not at all. Not at all. Please.
Yeah, I believe yours was about 2 weeks before his, so you have precedence on it.
Yes.
Tell me where to begin.
I mean, it's so the new way we're doing proposals is. Have you ever seen the show Shark Tank?
I have not.
Okay. Basically, sell the business to us as investors.
Oh, so like if I'm selling a product, basically.
Pretty much.
Feel like I should be on the other side of the table for this.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Rex's towing and service is pretty self-explanatory. I have seen ever since I came into the city, I've seen a desperate need for towing business. So police don't need to impound themselves the cars, or if cars break down, I really want to take away the whole need for duct tape, if that makes sense. I feel like if you have some people coming out and help you out, if it's on the spot, if it's needed, or if the cars needs to get towed back, then that can also be fixed up. If the PD need to impound something, then we can go and grab the car and take it to the impound. Feel like there's a big void, a big something that's missing there, something that could be filled in with us.
One question I had.
Go ahead.
With your business and it being a towing business, would you guys be restricting the market on, say, car jacks to where people can't just flip their own cars, to where they have to actually call a tow business to help them
I
flip
mean,
their car?
if that would be possible, that would be great. But if that you don't see that necessary, then that's fine. But I would love that. I
Alright.
would love to see the removal of everything that can, or most things that can help most everyone else, so they have to calling up the people to help them out.
Would Rex's and maybe Crane, this is something that would be directed towards the DOJ itself. Would Rex's be able to handle PD tows and impounds and all that?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Uh, Crane, can I
A-
get any input on that one?
So when the old towing company was around, there was indeed a working relationship between the towing company and PD. That PD would actually call them for the tows. The issue with that is there has yet to be a tow company active enough to fully take over all of those duties. And that
But in
is
small
also going to
steps.
be the same concern.
So perhaps it would be like a, you know, trial period, like let's see how the company does, and if it's active for, round the clock generally, then we can discuss you know taking away some unneeded utilities.
Because it would help the PD out a lot, and it will help other people out to, I mean, yeah, to be able to go out and help even the PD or just normal folk.
Yeah.
But
have a
of course,
question.
baby steps, you know, we tested out the other borders. We still have to get in more people that can work.
One question I had about your location with it being on the south side at Mosley's. Do you feel that that would cause any kind of problems with the business?
Elaborate.
Well, as far as I mean, it's gang territory. Um, it. One of my concerns was that with the fact of with the business running PD Tow and it being based inside of the south side, you can kind of see where
Oh, okay. Yeah.
something may get muddled up with that.
So my thought process during that when I added in the PD stuff was the PD towing place would be a different location because it needs to be secure for the PD to be actually to access it. So that
Yeah.
would be a different location. So the mechanic or the towing itself, when it's like normal citizens, we go back to that place. And when it's PD for impound, we would take it to a secure place that they have the choosing from.
I think his concern was more a safety issue with, gangs being active in the area. If you felt like your customers and your staff would be in danger down there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I have checked the maps and I have talked to my sister, who is going to be the owner of this company. And we have checked out all the locations considering where other mechanics and other stuff are. And the south side is there seems to be the one lacking. Us personally, we never had any issues with the quote unquote gang people where we treated them with the respect and they treated us with respect. So I don't see any difficulty with that. If there any would any be any problem, then of course I would contact the PD and maybe try to relocate. But I don't for the nearest future, maybe some more than that, I wouldn't see any issue.
Yeah, and thinking along the same lines, if you, you know, talk to the right people, it might be, you know, the safest spot in the South Side, so to
I
say.
mean, of course, but what I'm looking at is also that it's very close to the free housing, so it would be easy for people to not be instantly drawn into the gangs and the menace that it's the opposite side of the law and stuff. We are right there and can offer them a job and help them out, pull them out of it.
Now, one thing that you may want to consider with potentially taking over PD tows, you would have to be more, I guess, strenuous with your hiring process because, you couldn't just have a felon showing up to a crime scene to tow off obviously something that's going to be part of evidence on a case. So
Yes, we
just be
have
mindful of that if whenever if that does come up.
we have talked about this, and that's why we made the ranking system the way it is. So we have discussed and figured out the best way to do it is that senior technician, meaning the highest that the working quote unquote person can have, that we do not that we trust, can only do the PD toes. Since it's gonna be baby steps, we want to see how it's going because we figured we would be if that would be the case from the get go, then we would have to take the small steps. So we start out as only the quote unquote higher ups would start off taking the PD calls, and then we will see how it goes from there.
Other than
That
that,
seems
that
like
was the
a
only questions I had.
Yep. Seems like a reasonable solution.
I
Yeah.
have a question. So you mentioned obviously working with PD. Um, do you have any sort of contract or any contacts within PD that you could bring the business council like an agreement that you have with them?
I haven't talked to anyone because I wanted the business community's approval and thoughts first. Like pitch in if you have any ideas, etc. Really wanted your guys' approval before I pushed all
Yeah.
forward with this.
And as perhaps as part of the probationary window, you could start working on that and show us what steps you've taken to make those contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned removing some hardware from the stores, if I'm correct, such as jacks. Would this also include advanced repair kits as well?
I would have removed advanced repair kits and just make them repair kits, but make them maybe more expensive, so it's more lucrative to call in a tow.
So you're not for eliminating that altogether then?
It's very nice to have as a backup if truly there is no one to answer your calls for towing, you know?
And what do you expect your employment to look like coming up when if we approve this and you get started? How many employees do you think you'll have off the get-go?
I mean, that's also something I'm very up for. So I have not been in this county's business side of things yet. So I would really want that to be such nice ideas. I have put in 10 spots now for each and 15 for trainees. So yeah, I would, if you have any ideas and want to pitch in, go ahead.
How many employees do you currently have? Is it just you and you said your sister?
And my two brothers, yes.
Okay, so a total of 4 people. Is that correct?
Yeah. Because as we said, we really wanted the committee's approval before we pushed forward.
Do you have any strategy to start hiring people?
Well, we already know a lot of people from the lower working class that we have already good contact with, so we know where to get them from. We work with them, we've been there with them. We shared blood, sweat, and tears and all that. So I know there's a few people that will really like a job that's not criminal activity.
Okay.
Do you feel
One more
like any? Oh, go ahead.
one more question. So if, say, for example, I were to call for a tow, and you came and picked me up, could I have you tow me to a different garage, or would I have to go to your business? Say I'm like
If
up,
it's
say I'm up in Sandy, right? Do I have to
yeah,
go all the way down to the south side, or would you take me to Beakers?
I would take you all the way to the south side because that is our that when you call us, that would be our job. So my idea was that we don't do quote unquote normal mechanic work. We fix your car if there's something wrong with your car and we have to come pick you up.
So would it
So
be
if
more
it
of a roadside repair then? Or do you
depends on
always bring it back?
depends on the what's if the car is total, we have to bring it back. You know, if it makes sense, it makes sense. If it just needs more oil, for example, we can just do it there. That's what I've been figuring out. Because dragging someone from all the way up north and all the way down south just because you're out of oil, that's kind of stupid. Same with the If you pop a tire, we could probably fill it up there.
And how much do these services cost?
So this is goes back to what I was talking about, where I haven't really put in the how this county's business works when it comes to payment. I put it in the application as well that I would really like some referrals, but I put in some examples. Of course, the higher it ranks, the more pay they get, like the standard issued pay, and then the further away the callers are, the more the guy who comes goes out and picks them up gets paid for it.
So what I would recommend doing in a case like that is just kind of take a map of the city, and then just the further north you go, split that into pie chart. You know, like a pie section.
That's what I did,
Gotcha.
but it's the numbers are quote unquote made up because I didn't know how much would be
I got you. I
acceptable.
got you. Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
Yes.
It should be in the application form.
Just like
Yeah, I see.
a
Very well.
mileage fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would also like it that we do it as the mechanics do, like when we pick up a car or we fix someone's car, we don't do it like we don't charge them. You know, we do the quote unquote risk of having them pay that person instead of the company because he's the one doing the job.
So the money wouldn't go into the company's vault then.
Not when he only like a percentage of it, but not all of it.
And how do you calculate that percent?
We put in 25% for now, but that's the same with everything when it comes to payment. It's all up for discussion on what the business committee sees fit.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions for Rex?
Not for me.
Okay.
I have a couple of more ideas I discussed with the owner yesterday that I forgot to put into the application. If you want me to bring it up right now.
Oh, please do.
So we discussed on what would happen if there's a few people in county at the time, and we were discussing if would be a possible way for the employees to get a civilian call, if that makes sense, a local call. They can choose to get a local call, and they have to go out and get them.
I'm sure it'd be viable.
So they don't just sit around the shop and just wait for someone to crash a car.
Yeah, kind of like how the taxi services run.
Probably. I haven't driven a taxi, so I wouldn't know.
Pretty much the same thing. Locals can call to be picked up, and uh, they'll give a payment and sometimes strange items.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And of course, if you were wondering, the higher, because there might not always be a car that's the problem. It might be, a bus or a truck, etc. We would have bigger pickup trucks or towing trucks to go and pick them up, and only the higher ranks would be able, or more experienced towers would go and pick them up. And then there was also a question of if the PD had some really hard jobs. Say, for example, you had a car chase and you ended up in the forest or in the mountains and you couldn't get a car in there, then we would have the helicopter that could pick them up and bring them back to the impound.
And how would you get a helicopter?
Oh, that would be on the company. So they would have to get the more experienced towers would have to get a flying license, a helicopter license, and then they would have to be approved by the PD to help them out if that such a situation would occur.
Okay. So I'm hearing a potential partnership between Rex Towing and the FAA. Jimmy, how do you feel about that?
I'm open for the idea.
All I'm thinking is the more I get my workers to do, the better.
All right. Anything else?
I have no more
That's it
questions.
on my side.
All right. So I know that we've already done this once before, but now that Kate's come and spoken to us, and we've had you know, all that to think on, would we like to vote now, or would we like a couple days to think on it?
I think that answered all my questions.
All right.
I'd like the motion, a motion for a vote.
All right.
A second.
So approved. All in favor, raise your hand.
I'm going to condition my vote with the fact that I believe Rex's Towing needs to, during their probationary period, needs to bring us a contract from PD, BCSO, and Park Rangers in order to, secure the vote and show us that you guys are going to have a good relationship with law enforcement.
I agree to that actually.
That's fine.
All right. Unanimously approved with the condition that you get on working terms with PD.
Perfect.
All right. Sal, I believe it is your turn.
Wonderful. I have a bit of a presentation. Melvin, would you be so kind as to, I'll send it to your tablet. Would you mind passing it to the rest of the business committee?
Sure.
I will bring it up on the screen over there if that's permissible as well. But you can follow
Absolutely.
along on your tablets. Thank you very much. Just let me connect my Bluetooth to it.
I'm also gonna drop that into in-city moments if anyone else is interested in listening in on this. There we go.
Wonderful. Let me know when you all are ready and I can begin. You can all hear me okay
ready.
as well?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Wonderful. The business proposal that myself and Cade Wolf are bringing forward, unfortunately, he couldn't join us today. He's feeling a bit ill. Is Premium Deluxe Motorsport. To preface, we want to redefine the automotive market. We want to offer curated selections of vehicles, display iconic brands and exclusive models proudly in our showroom, which I can actually provide pictures of. Melvin, would you be all right if I send these over to you so you can pass them out?
Yeah, that's fine. You know, I just thought about it, Sal. It probably would have been better to put this in the presentation as well.
Probably. That's all right, though. I mean, I think it's better to have physical copies. You can look at them and ask questions about them if you'd like.
Yes. And Melvin, you can attach those to the proposal, as I believe we do have a copy of that in the forums.
I'm going to continue if everyone is ready. We want this to be more than just a dealership. We want it to be a place where you can pursue your passion if your passion happens to be vehicles. We want to provide personalized service and ensure that every customer finds the perfect vehicle for their preferences and for their lifestyle. This won't be a come in, buy a car, and leave. This will be a tied together experience. We recognize that there is a unique opportunity to disrupt the automotive retail landscape in this city. There's only one dealership, as we all know, and it dominates the market. If we introduce a new player into the space, it stimulates healthy competition. It drives innovation, not through traditionally it would be associated with products. It would drive innovation of salesmanship and ultimately raise the bar of customer satisfaction. So, of course, with the needs analysis, we need a diversification of options. As I mentioned, there's one dealership in the city, the car dealerships, excuse me. Consumers have limited choices. When there's limited choices, forgive my crassness, it causes those in that market to be lazy. PDM's entry into the market will provide a wider selection for the customers of this city. It will cater to diverse preferences and tastes, and it is essential in empowering consumers to ensure they find a place where they are treated fairly. Monopolies, as I said, can sometimes lead to inflated prices, decreased value for consumers. With our competition, we will bring back competitive pricing, add value through promotions of our sales, discounts, bundled services, for example. You'll probably notice I included one of the last pictures to be what seems to be a mechanic shop. I'll get to that at the end, but that ties into the bundled services. As I stated before as well, this will provide an incentive for both businesses to innovate, come up with different tactics for sales. It will prompt us to better both of our businesses, and that's the key point with it. We, with PDM, our main focus is customer experience. As I said, right now it can seem very drone-like almost. You go in, you buy a car, and you leave. It needs to be an experience. You need to talk to the customer, get to know them, show them their options, try to make them feel like they are valued in their own way. Going to move on to our next slide, objectives and risks, if you're following along. Our objective, of course, the first one being market penetration. We want to establish ourselves as a prominent player in the local automotive market. Within the first year of operation, we want to capture a significant share, of the premium vehicle segment. This ties into as well the location. I don't know if everyone is aware of the fish restaurant, La Mana. It's near the premium apartments, very close to where a lot of businesses are set up on Vespucci Beach. We also want to build brand recognition. We want to give people promotional items like t-shirts, stickers, that kind of thing, so that our name really gets out there. And of course, like I said, our main objective, customer satisfaction. We want to achieve a very high satisfaction rate. The customer in PDM is always right. We want to make sure our operational excellence is up to par. We want streamlined processes to optimize inventory management, sale operations, and service delivery, reducing costs and improving overall business efficiency. We want to develop employees. This is more in the works, but it's a general idea that I'd like to bring forward. We want to invest in employee training, not just for the car sales market, but to give them skills that they can apply everywhere. We were thinking of an outreach program to the community for offenders to rehabilitate them. This would be an environment where professionalism would be required of all of our employees, business casual at the least. You would not be able to walk in with a t-shirt and jeans, as we expect them to be presentable. We're hoping that at some point we can work with perhaps the Department of Justice to get frequent offenders a new chance in life, so to speak. Give them the opportunity to learn what it's like to be part of functioning society. We want to engage with the community. We have plans to host car shows, to provide different auctions. We want to make sure that the area surrounding our business is also fostered. As I said, the Vespucci Beach area. We want businesses to come down there. As we feel right now, it's not very utilized. We hope to change that with this establishment. We also were hoping to forge new partnerships with other businesses in the city and sustain ourselves through promoting electric and hybrid vehicles, for example, reducing waste, minimizing our own carbon footprint, and aligning with the growing demand for eco-friendly solutions in the automotive industry. For our revenue, we want to focus more on our employees. We want to make sure they're fairly compensated for their work. So most of our money will be going into bonuses. However, being a Paradise employee myself, I see how the way it works right now is you sell a car and you get a portion of the commission. We feel as though that promotes an unhealthy environment among the employees. We want to foster an environment of teamwork. We want them to work together to get a sale. So our plan is, it's an idea that we have kind of floated around, is no longer will you get commission directly from selling a vehicle. We will analyze performance and determine bonuses so that if, for example, 2 employees are working the same day, they're incentivized to work together as opposed to fighting over a commission. We want employees to make connections, not compete for who makes the biggest paycheck the month. Our 6th slide is our roadmap. We have it divided into 4 stages. Of course, the first one being this part, really, preparing our market strategy, opening the business, getting the proper licenses and whatnot. Stage 2 would be following up with sales and our current growth, making sure our growth is healthy and our revenue is sustainable. At stage 3, we want to look at the possibility of opening a mechanic shop in conjunction with our car dealership. As I mentioned with the photographs, you probably noticed the last one is a mechanic shop. It is on site, and we would, of course, hope that that could be in some way partnered with our own business or perhaps could be opened along with this business, as we feel as though the main, excuse me, let me restart that. We want more business down in the Vespucci Beach area. We want more people to open up these small vendor shops like Junk Energy, like this gentleman's shop here as well. We feel as though by putting a mechanic shop and a car dealership there, it will give people reason to go down there and really make that community boom. By stage 4, we're hoping, of course, by the time we're established, to import new vehicles at some point. Of course, following all laws and regulations regarding street legal vehicles. But that is our main focus by that time. Of course, this is within a very short time span. Slide 7 is our graphical profile. This would be, like I mentioned, this would be on t-shirts, stickers. This would be our identifier, essentially. A few final words from myself, John Greenwood, another one of our partners, and Cade Wolf. As I said, he was unable to be here. Today, we extend our hand not just as a business, but as a group of dreamers, innovators, and community builders. We envision a Los Santos where every corner tells a story of collaboration, creativity, and boundless opportunity. Our mission isn't just to sell cars, but to weave ourselves into the fabric of the city, contributing to its vibrancy and prosperity. We believe in not just profits, but people. Our journey is fueled by our desire to connect, uplift, and inspire. We want to provide venues for unforgettable events, nurturing the entrepreneurial spirit. We're committed to being more than just a dealership. We aim to be a catalyst for growth, a hub for innovation, and a beacon of hope for those who dare to dream. Together, hand in hand with the political leaders and the business committee, we aspire to shape the future of Los Santos, and we see ourselves not just as spectators, but as active participants in the evolution of this place. We want to foster strong partnerships and alliances, and we are confident in our ability to pave the way for a better tomorrow. We invite you to join us to share in our vision and be part of this special arrangement. Together, let's write the next chapter in the story of this great city, filled with passion, promise, and endless possibilities. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for that. Definitely a lot to take in.
Of course,
But
if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
yeah, I personally like the idea of having a competition for a car sales place, but I'm not quite sure the city needs yet another like mechanic shop added to that, especially since we just, approved Rex's to, go forward. But I might propose that you guys think about the customization line
That is
instead
exactly
of
what I was about to suggest.
repairs.
Say that again. I'm sorry, my ear
Uh,
kind of blew.
Looking more into customization than repairs.
That is actually what I probably. My apologies for failing to mention that. My wife, Coda, she has a passion for vehicles. You've probably seen her catalog. She's posted it a few times in the emails. Her passion is not just repairs. She doesn't really care. Well, she does care for the inner workings, of course, but her real passion is art. She likes making art, and her canvas is vehicles. That's what we were hoping to foster more of, a place where car enthusiasts that come show off their art. So that's more. I love the idea. As I said, my apologies for not mentioning it.
If I get to pitch in, oh, sorry.
Please do. Oh, are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, if anything, that would be a perfect mix with us because his company would literally be the opposite of our company. If he did the details and we did the mechanic stuff, and he focused on the car sales and we did the towing, that would be a great mix. Not gonna lie.
I have a question.
Yes, of course, of course.
So would it just be customizations, no upgrades to internals, engines, stuff like that? Just customization.
We would be fine with it just being customizations. However, if the possibility was there, we would, of course, take that. However, as I said, her passion is more on the customization end, so we wouldn't mind.
Do you guys have any interest in creating custom liveries for vehicles that you wouldn't really find anywhere else?
Certainly, if we can facilitate that, we would love to.
So you said that you would reduce prices for cars by coming into
Yes.
competition with
Mhm.
Paradise Autos. How do you intend to do that?
So, as per my understanding, the car prices are fixed by the Senate. However, what we were hoping to do is Paradise has a system for discounts. I believe for mechanics, it's 5%. For EMS and PD, it would be 10. We would keep the EMS and PD. However, we would include other governmental agencies such as City Hall, Department of Justice, all of these things. What we wanted to do, as I mentioned, we wanted to make it an experience, is open the 5% to normal civilians. However, it would be a bartering system. We would sit down with them in our little cubicles, and they would tell us, I'd like 2% off. And it would be up to our salesmen to try to figure out where they would lie in terms of a comfortable deal for both the customer and the salesman so that he could make a good sale for the business. That's more what I meant with competitive pricing. I know the actual prices can't really be changed. We're more hoping for I don't want to say debates necessarily, but bartering. We want people to be interested in it, walk in saying, I don't have all the money I need right now, but maybe I can get a good deal. And, if a salesman is feeling generous or they have a good relationship with that person, they'd be willing to grant it.
Now, how would you get your employees from getting carried away with that? Like say, oh, my best friend wants this vehicle, so I'm going to give them 10% instead of 5%,
Well,
and situations like that.
as I said, their end of month commissions would be based on their performance. So if they're going to give out 5% discounts to everyone, their performances are going to suffer. We also were hoping at some point to this would be more for Cade, as he is more of the business mastermind. Um, we were hoping to put some sort of cap on how much the salesman can give discounts per month. So, for example, only 10 sales or only 3 sales, whatever it may be. We'd more have to analyze how many sales we would do and kind of determine what a fair amount would be for the salesman to give out.
All right.
I have another question. Do you intend on
Absolutely.
doing financing for any of these vehicles?
I don't know that that's a possibility with how the car sales system works, but I would certainly be interested in it. My only issue with that is I don't know that we have, to be completely transparent, I don't believe we would have the resources to chase someone down if they didn't pay up. If it were
Mhm.
some sort of automated system that could be set up, we absolutely would be interested in financing for more expensive vehicles. As we
Mhm.
know, certain vehicles can be out of the price range. And of course, with that process, we would sit down with them and analyze their ability to pay some sort of monthly fee. For example, we would sit down and say, what kind of job do you have? How much do you make? That kind of thing. So it would be a whole process. It wouldn't just be something we would give out. And as I said, in terms of resources, it would have to be something automated, as we cannot spare the resources to hunt people down.
Mhm. So if that did happen, you would, in theory, be able to repossess the vehicle then through a contract.
I would, yes, I'm assuming the process would be through the Department of Justice and the Unified Police Force. We would work with them very closely if there were to be a repossession in accordance with all the laws of San Andreas, of course.
Well,
Mhm.
hey, if you do happen to do repossessions, there could be a tow company coming through.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
I
just
think that's a
thinking.
wonderful idea.
Yeah. And if people were trying to, dodge from garage to garage, I'm sure PD would be interested in tracking down some people for a variety of crimes and not just robberies and things like that. So that could definitely be something to discuss with them.
Hmm.
I think you overestimate their effectiveness.
Like I said, a discussion. Perhaps the Senate might have an alternative solution, but you know, yeah.
So if we approve this proposal, um, how many employees would you start out with at the beginning of this?
Well, I can count it out for you right now, actually. It would be myself, John Greenwood, Kate Wolf, a friend of mine, Lycaris Astor, another business associate of mine, Enrique Castillo. I'm trying to remember. I believe I have one more person. Her name is Autumn. She has a recent flight into the city. And of course, we would open our employment and push for recruiting. I feel as though with a car dealership, for those who are unemployed, it would be a very enticing option for them in terms of employment.
Mhm.
I mean, you
And
said that,
then,
but there's a very lucrative towing company incoming.
That's fair.
Oh, I think everything will be fine.
so the other question I have is,
Yes.
what does the coverage look like? The hours of the business being able to operate.
We have people all across the board. Myself, I'm around quite frequently. Cade,
Hello.
Cade tends to be around later in the day. If in reference to now, he would be around now. I also focused on hiring. As I said, one of my associates is she tends to be awake when no one else is. When there's maybe 5,000, 6,000 people awake and doing things in the city. Um, she would, of course, kind of be our net for those who are unable to purchase cars and want to do it within a reasonable time. We can't expect them to stay up too late, of course. We have it across the board. Every single star zone that you can think of, we have it covered essentially. Any other questions?
What kind of events would you start off with to encourage car enthusiasts?
So obviously the first one would be car shows. We hope to kind of have a prize pool, maybe have a few judges, of course, that would be unbiased. But we would have people come, maybe have different themes for different car shows. Like one time we will have JDM, the next time classic muscle, super, something like that. And of course, that wouldn't be the only type of event we would do. We would want to sponsor different events for other businesses as well. Like I said, invest in the community. We would also want to host auctions, perhaps, where the dealership would front the price for a high ticket vehicle, and we would allow the public to to participate in an auction, to buy it at a lower price or a higher price, depending on how it goes. But at the end of the day, the business might lose money. But as I said, with events like that, the focus is to foster a community relationship as opposed to making money on everything. Even as I said, the car show, realistically, we would be losing money hosting any one of those. But that's not the point of it.
Right, and that's where sponsors come in.
Hmm.
So I have a question on your location. So this is by
course.
Vinewood. It is next to the canals, correct?
Yes,
in that
it is
area?
the fish restaurant La Mana. It is right
Mhm.
next to the premium apartments.
And it backs up to a what is that? The like a yacht club area, right? With that.
I believe so, yes.
Is there any
Boat
interest?
shows.
Is there any interest in expanding into a boat dealership?
It's a possibility we could look into it. I
Oh,
don't
oh
know
my
if
gosh.
the blueprint that we have has the facilities for it, but I'd have to look at it more closely. We would absolutely love to undertake that down the line, of course. That would be something I feel many people would have interest in.
Yeah, just saying, I would love to customize my yacht.
And then earlier in the presentation, you said you would deliver premium motor vehicles.
Yes.
Does that mean that you would have a limited stock of vehicles that you'd be able to sell? Only high-end vehicles, or is
No,
it a whole plethora of?
I more meant it as the environment. We wanted to kind of, as I mentioned, the professionalism. We of course would foster interest in higher end vehicles like luxury sedans, supercars. But that isn't to say we wouldn't provide budget vehicles as well. It's just more of the. I'm trying to think of a way to describe it.
Do you have like a rotating catalog of imports for a limited period of time?
Not as of yet. We are looking, as I mentioned, down the line. We're hoping to work with the Senate to import some exclusive vehicles. Of course, that would fall in line with all the laws and regulations of San Andreas when it comes to being street legal. We're hoping to get some, like I said, exclusive vehicles. There was one that we were looking at called the Sunrise, a very, very nice car. Of course, this would be down the line. Right now, we're hoping to just get everything set up on a very basic level.
I'm at the business meeting, so.
And these exclusive vehicles, would it only be PDM that would be able to sell these, or would Paradise be able to try to sell these as well?
To be quite honest with you, I am unsure if our catalogs would be tied together. I can find out though. That would be something I would have to inquire about.
And I feel like that would kind of fall into the competition, you know, category of
Would-
that.
Would you
Yeah.
want it to be exclusive to PDM?
It would be preferable, but if it's not a possibility, of course, it is what it is.
So you would prefer it to be exclusive to PDM?
if possible. I think they could tie into the auctions that we have, for example. We would love to be able to auction off one-of-one vehicles if that's possible. But, one step at a time, I suppose.
No one else is getting a lawnmower, just me.
We'll make sure to never sell that one, Judge Green.
Okay.
And so earlier you mentioned about monopolies.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So allowing that exclusive kind of right to sell certain vehicles, that would, in theory, grant you a monopoly on that vehicle, would it not?
That's fair. I mean, when you put it in that manner, then I think it's certainly something to consider. I more was talking about, given the, what do you call it, the environment of our dealership being a bit more high end, we
Mhm.
would want to sell a bit more exclusive vehicles, like I said, in the way of luxury sedans. But if it's a concern of a monopoly with us having those one-of-one vehicles, then absolutely we would be fine with not doing that.
Mhm. And how do you feel opening this business would impact Paradise Autos?
Well, to be honest with you, we don't believe that they will take a large hit in their business. A lot of people are loyal to Paradise as a brand. A lot of people have friends that work there. They've shopped there for a long time. We're kind of hoping to establish a newer customer base, but as I mentioned as well, we want them as well as ourselves to be inspired to innovate, not only with how we do things, but well, mostly how we do things, how we interact with our customers. We want it to be more of an experience as opposed to, if what's the point of a salesman if the whole thing is you walk in, purchase a car, and leave? You could just do that from a kiosk, or they have these new car delivery services, I think. We want it to be personable. That would be where the competition would be. Who can provide the best customer service?
Okay. That's all the questions I have.
Melvin?
I actually don't have anything. It's it's a pretty thorough presentation.
All right. Motion to vote.
A second.
All right. So approved. All in favor? Raise your hand. All right. Unanimously approved.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Sal, and we will move that on up. Also, it is getting rather late in the evening, so unless there's anything else to bring to the table, motion to close for today.
I actually wanted to ask very quickly, would
All
this
right.
include the mechanic shop that we discussed, or would that be something we would have to propose at a later date?
I feel like that one is going to need to be an expansion once you've established your
Oh,
business.
of course. No
Yeah,
problem at
yeah.
all. No problem at all. Just wanted to clarify.
Okay, and
Pro-
I'll second that adjournment.
All right.
Perfect.
Going once, going twice. Meeting adjourned.
I just wanted to say he asked to clarify.
I wasn't
Okay,
gonna say it
Tim,
myself.
relax. Good lord.
I'm gonna go jump
My
off.
brain was in the exact same place.
I swear it wasn't
Look,
meant to
I
be a
shut
pun.
up the entire fucking meeting, okay? Look.
It wasn't
Oh, you
meant to
didn't
be a
have
pun, I
to.
swear.
We love you, Tim.
And there's a guillotine. All right, at the mayor's mansion.
Yes, I got them both. That's amazing.
He got 3.
Oh, damn, that's nice.
Oh,
Who do
sending
I
you back
talk
to
to
purgatory.
about
Clara,
this
Back
ownership
to
for
purgatory?
rivals?
Yep.
Business committee meeting.
Sorry, what was it?